State of Search.
This is the State of Search News Roundup for week 37, September 20, 2010. The State of Search News Roundup is provided by stateofsearch.com, where we look at what's going on in the world of search. We give you news, opinions, and we are telling you all about the events which take place all around the world involving search and social. Hi, another week and another State of Search News Roundup. We keep on going with the news roundups. It's another Monday and we are bringing you the news from the last week. We've got a lot of news lined up for you again. If you go to the website, you'll find all the links to all the articles discussed right here in this news roundup. And you'll also find a really lot of good other content which you should really check out and share with others also, of course. So let's go and see what happened this week in the world of search and social. So here's what we've got lined up for you this week. We'll be looking at Google buying Quicksee. We'll be looking at the new layout design for Twitter. Did Bing outgrow Yahoo or didn't they? And the end of Q and a lot more. We'll start off with YouTube. YouTube has been testing a new streaming platform last week. The trial, which enabled broadcasters to stream live video directly into YouTube, has Tuesday and Wednesday. If it was a success and what the next steps are not very clear yet, but it's a major step for YouTube if this will be a regular feature on the video channel of Google. Google itself bought something else last week. It was the Israeli newspaper Haaretz that reported that Google had acquired Israeli startup Quicksee. Quicksee makes it possible for individuals to create virtual tours of locations, things, and experiences. Zook likes Quicksee will be used for more enrichment in Google Maps, and you can think of Street View video, for example, of something which could turn out to be a Quicksee and Google tool which will be built later on. It also kind of reminds me on how Bing Maps is using Photosynth in Street Side. We'll see what's going on with Quicksee in the future and what changes they can bring to Google Maps. There are terms on which bidding is not allowed, or at least is difficult, and to say the least, bidding on terms where the Google term is related to, or the Google brand is related to, you hardly ever see. An ad which is anti-Google is actually unthinkable. Well, the consumer watchdog group tried several times to purchase an ad on Google to promote a Trusting Google campaign. The video of Eric Schmidt we showed a couple of weeks ago. They were rejected several times, but in the end, after a complaint, Google allowed the ad to go on anyway. So for a short period on specific terms in the US, you could see the ad for InsideGoogle.com showing up on Google, which is an anti-Google ad discussing the private data Google's collecting. Interesting. Google Instant. A lot of discussion has been going on about Google Instant, and I'm almost getting tired of it, but we're doing a little bit more at Google Instant and Chrome. It was just a matter of time, but now Chrome has been affected, so to speak, by Google Instant. Only, though, if you want it yourself and if you are on a Windows machine. If you add Enable Match Preview to your search properties, the tool will be enabled, and you will get results like Google Instant when you start typing in your browser. If you start typing a URL, it will show the website which you are about to type. So for example, if you start typing Wikipedia, it will show Wikipedia even before you finish the entire URL. You can watch a video of how this works on State of Search next to the show notes of this news roundup. Well, Twitter. It has started a battle with the applications which have made them big, like TweetDeck and Tweety and other related applications. They changed their website layout and trying to lure people back to the website, of course, to bring on ads eventually, instead of using an application. On the new website, you can now watch media in your right pane. You can see related contents, you can see mini profiles, and these changes will roll out as a preview over the next several weeks. So if you don't have it yet, don't be scared, you'll get it, but they're rolling it out step by step. More Google. There's been a lot of buzz around a possible new Facebook killer, Google Me. According to an article in the Wall Street Journal, however, Google CEO Eric Schmidt plans to introduce social networking elements in layers this fall instead of a full-on product. Schmidt says they're trying to take Google core products and add a social component to them. In other words, we'll be seeing relatively small changes in the coming months instead of a new rollout in the likes of Google Wave. Probably a better way to go for Google anyway, because the Wave kind of launch has not been a success so far. But you'll be seeing changes, more social changes to Google over the next coming months probably. Over to Bing. Microsoft last week announced their latest version of their browser, Internet Explorer. The new browser focuses heavily on HTML5, and the new release also has implications for Microsoft's search engine, Bing. Bing will be getting more animations, smooth transitions, previews of images, and a lot more within the new browser. You can also watch a preview of this on State of Search, and be sure to check that out because it kind of looks neat how Bing is doing this. A remarkable story came out last week of something which had happened earlier this year. A Google engineer was fired after he had accessed information of several users who were minors and used that information to keep control over them and stalk them. The guy, for example, got information about a new girlfriend of some boy he was stalking through accessing his Google Voice account and finding out the phone number of the girl and threatening to call the girl. It was a freaky story, and it shows how vulnerable an organization like Google can be, but it also shows that it's just an example of one person within the organization who is doing bad things. It's not Google in general who's doing the bad things here, which can often be mistaken for. I think in this case Google handled it correctly, and it seems that the story ends here, but we'll be sure to hear more about this in the future. From hiring to firing, Google also is hiring people. The Los Angeles Times reports that Google has hired Netflix Roberto Quincho, former vice president for content acquisition at Netflix, where he was focused on making deals with movie studios and TV networks. He will be using that experience to make YouTube an online destination for example, Hollywood content. So Google and YouTube are looking more and more to get into the mainstream content. The new executives will be looking for more deals for more profitable YouTube, and we'll be seeing those changes probably pretty soon, when we will be seeing more content from both Hollywood and TV networks on YouTube. YouTube is becoming more and more the Hulu competitor in that case. According to Nielsen, Bing is now the second largest search engine in the US, passing their partners Yahoo. The numbers are being argued, however, by Comscore, the other one who's giving us numbers about market shares on search engines in the US. They say Yahoo still has a 6% more market share than Bing. A huge difference between the two firms, and it's a question who to believe in this case. Well, what you can believe is that Bing is still growing and that Yahoo is losing ground. Whether or not they are bigger or smaller, that has to remain to be seen. Together, however, they are getting more market share than ever, and they're up to about 30% market share combined. We end this roundup with news that former Google challenger Q goes out of business. The search engine, launched in July 2008, called itself the world's biggest search engine on launching. It's apparently bankrupt. Q was created by former Google engineers Anna Patterson, Russell Power, and Louis Monnier, who had a $33 million venture capital investment to launch the search engine. All that money couldn't prevent a deception, and the website goes on to black, and we won't be seeing Q anymore. To be honest, I haven't had used Q ever since the launch, so I'm sure that many people will have had the same. If somebody did use Q, let us know on the website stateofsearch.com. Next to the articles with all the notes in it, and we'll be interested to hear your experience with this search engine. Okay, that's it again for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, state_of_search, and also the website, of course, stateofsearch.com, where you can find all the links to articles mentioned here and you all can also listen to us live on the radio on webmasterradio.fm. We have a show every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the US, and be sure to check that out. You can join us in the chat room and actually join in on the show. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and tune in for the website stateofsearch.com, where be sure to check that out because we are giving away some tickets this week, so be sure to check out the website stateofsearch.com. Also, we'll hope to see you next week for another State of Search news roundup. Bye bye!